This is John for the Patch. Today I have the pleasure of talking with a mainstay on the wrestling scene, Nick Headford. How are you, sir?
Not too bad, sir. Thank you very much for the time and all that. And it's always a pleasure to run into you.
Well, it's always good to talk to you. Definitely want to talk to you. The main reason is a day for Eric Priest, but let's
Yeah.
give a little bit of your background and how you led into this.
Um, well, the background of a day for priests, or just the background how I got into the biz myself.
A little bit about you, and then we'll
uh,
progress into
well,
how you got into the day for Priest.
um, I've always been a wrestling fan. Grew up watching Mid South and World Class, in the early '80s, late '70s, early '80s. And just more or less, when my dad retired from driving, we used to go to the matches every Tuesday night at the Riverside Centraplex, and at one point in time, I finally got the courage up to, try to work my way in or try to be a part of it. But, you know, Bill Watts ran a locker room now. Now I realize it that, like, go away, kid, you bother me, go away, go away. And I'm like, well, screw it. I'm gonna go to Dallas because I lived right outside of Baton Rouge. And so I figure, oh yeah, I'll just go to Dallas. I'll try there. But I chickened out due to the fact that I was afraid that my car would not make it. And then I'd have to call my dad, and I
I
didn't
hear
want to do that. So I, I didn't do I didn't go to world class like I wanted. And maybe it was a good thing because, 80, what was it, 86, 87, 88, somewhere around there, it started really going down.
you. Yeah.
So, but anyway, I've always liked it. And now that I'm a part of it, it's, you know, I wouldn't change a thing, you know.
Well, you've done a lot of wrestling. I know you've been a referee. I think you've been a general manager. I know you've gotten into quite a few interesting
Yeah.
situations in wrestling. So you definitely made your mark on the scene here.
Yeah. I started off as a ref in '99, just due to the fact of my age. I'm 33 walking in, so I call it, Diamond Dallas Page age,
Sure.
you know. Um, but I went in for a ref because my stature, and just I'm a thin built guy, but now that's all you see on the
Yeah.
around the scene are these little guys, But anyway, I just wanted to do a ref, I tried the ref and so forth, and Sonny Rogers took my money, and the rest is history. Jumped into the manager gimmick, and one of my first great runs was with Rough Crossing. Everybody knows him now as Rough the Clown.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yabo. I mean, these guys here, especially Rough, he really helped me fit in, with doing this. And he was new to the scene, and just he had it. How he hasn't gotten signed is beyond me,
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I agree.
um, but actually, for the record, Ruffo and Yabo, they should be signed somewhere. They
Totally
should.
agree.
They always have great matches. They know how to work. They know how to entertain the crowd. So, but getting back to Ruff, he really, feel like I fit in for an older guy. Because like I said, I'm in my 30s already. And
Sure.
it was the best time as a manager. You know, um, Pretty much bounced around as much as I could around the indie scene. I did the On the Mat show with Trevor Blanchard, Richard T, and of course the legendary Billy Wack.
Yep.
That was fun because I really wanted to. Once I didn't know about the independent scene, honestly, in Chicago until I seen a commercial for PWI Wrestling. Okay, I didn't know nothing about it. And I think I might have seen a flyer or two, something for Windy City, back somewhere, but didn't pay no mind to it. But it opened up. And once I seen how many promotions were around and how popular it was. And uh, with me loving wrestling already, I got lucky. My brother was over there at the Comcast studios and told me about, you know, public access TV. And I went from there. Ran almost 400 shows over 5 years. You know, actually I think I had about an 8 year run on,
Impressive.
on the mat. I mean, it's all on the YouTube and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I mean, but it was just a great way to get eyes on the independent scene, because nobody else was doing it. And I am so thankful to Billy Wack and Richard T. Sen, Trevor, for being the hosts and, carrying the show the way they did.
It was a
So
fun show.
it was. I love doing it. Unfortunately, certain things, threw curveballs at me, and work, life, and everything else kind
It
of,
happens, my friend.
it,
Yeah.
it does. But I was looking at a venue to do the show, like do a 2 1 hour episodes, and then have the guys, from around, if you work for Rocket Pro or if you work for Slam, or I mean, back in the day, send two of your guys, have a match, and we'll promote an upcoming show. Okay. And I mean, I kind of business wise had it figured out. And, but like, unfortunately, it didn't get to that bridge. Uh, but I'm still happy with what I'm doing. And like he says, I've done a couple fundraisers already. Uh, a Day for Priest is really a special one, and actually, it's one of these shows that you didn't think you'd ever have to do.
Right.
You
Well, tell
know,
us, tell us a little bit about Eric Priest for those who don't know him or don't know of him.
Eric Priest was a very big main staple of the independent scene. He trained with Danny Dominion, Ace Steel, uh, uh, Seth Rollins, for crying out loud. Tyler Black. He's worked and trained with a lot of these guys, and the guys that he's trained. And I know everybody's heard of Bryce Benjamin,
Oh,
Chandler
absolutely. Sure.
LaFleur,
Yeah.
Jason Hades, which is a big mainstay in CSW. Um, Mustafa Ali actually has trained and worked with, Eric uh, a lot of times. So I mean, uh, he's one of these guys that really knew he had it. He was another one that had it. You know, um, but I will I do know that he had an opportunity, but he had uh, a new baby, and he wanted to try to find something solid, so he actually passed it up. You know, but like I said, things go on, and especially admire Eric for really, focusing in on family and seeing if he could still make the wrestling work.
Sure.
So always props him, but he'd give you the shirt off his back. He trained guys. He always was there to a joke, a smile, just he. When Eric walked into the room, you knew it. Just for the fact that he just had that aura about him, and I am very fortunate and humbled still to this day that he was a close friend of mine.
So, what is the day for Priest?
Um, Sunday, July 27th. The doors are at 2. Bell is at 3. At the American Legion in West Chicago, 123 Main Street. Uh, nice little venue there. A lot of parking in the back parking lot, like behind the building there. Uh, we're gonna rock the place. Matter of fact, I just got off the phone with the American Legion earlier, and oh yeah, they're waiting for it, and I'm gonna button up a couple of little things with them in the next few days. But yeah, they're ready for it, and so am I. I got a very special tribute video that I made,
Nice.
and I've got video segments from people that knew him and worked with him. Um, so main one of the things that I'd like to do to streamline is that in between matches we'll have someone a video segment of someone talking about Eric, go on to the next one, match, have somebody else talk about him.
Nice, nice
Uh,
tribute.
and I'm going to try also too to bring a lot of flyers and memorabilia that he was on.
Wow.
He's got I because when I was filming on the mat, I pretty much saved a flyer from everywhere I went.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
So I mean, I've got quite a few bit of a collection on the independent scene, which I'm very proud of. So I want to try to bring that so as people are getting ready to be seated and so forth, they can see a few things that he's been on. Um, it's just I want people that did not know him to know him.
sure.
And for the guys that are going to be there, there are going to be a lot of the boys on the independent scene, here at the show, just to come watch the show,
Right.
and that means a lot to me too. So, I mean, I'm doing what I can to make it special for everybody, especially Max. And I can't even phantom, you know, a
Yeah.
not having your dad around anymore. So,
Rough.
and I'm sorry if I'm getting a little emotional about it, but
No, I mean that this is an emotional event. The whole thing. It's the whole point of this is a very emotional event, and to help out to raise money to benefit them.
yeah.
Who could you run down the card a little bit?
Well, yeah, I tell you what, let me scroll down here a little bit. I do have a to open up the show, we have ourselves a five-man scramble. James Creed, Crotch. Crotch has been in Iowa,
Yeah.
working with Merrick Brave and so forth. Trick Davis, you see him on Ego Pro a lot. Like he says, James Creed, he's around the scene a lot. Home promotion Southland. Uh, Jordan Cross, everybody knows who
Oh,
Jordan Cross is.
good kid.
So talented, so
Yeah.
talented. And one of my personal favorites, Chico Suave.
Good one. Another
So,
good one. That's a match.
yes.
Wow.
And I figured this match here, it's the younger talent to show what fans that are not wrestling is not familiar with wrestling, a good opener. And here's what's on the scene today,
That's
of
going to
talent.
start hot, man. Just start with
Yeah,
that match. It's going to really kick it off on a high note.
so but I want to showcase, the young guys too,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
and hopefully we can gain some more wrestling fans. Here's one that's going to be very, very special. Um, we've called it Team PCW, which consists of Brandon Blaze, Justin Cage, Jason Hades, and
Wow.
Tony Regan
Wow. Wow.
versus Team MCW, Bryce Benjamin, Mike Flannery, Mike Matthews, and Chandler McClure.
Wow.
Yes.
Another good one.
Yes. December actually will be in the corner of Bryce, Mike, and Chandler. And
Oh,
it'd be great to see her, man. I have
oh
not
gosh,
seen
yeah.
her since the PCW days. So I'm looking very forward to seeing her. Um, Scroll up a little bit more here, and here's one that I think a lot of your Vic Capri fans will enjoy. Vic Capri himself versus the big man Mason Beck.
Ooh,
I haven't seen Mason around the area, but I do remember when Dreamwave started running in LaSalle. Mason was a fixture of their roster, and I really enjoyed watching him work. So
and Vic
uh,
is always Vic is as solid as it comes.
yes, and Vic, you know, he's just one of them guys that, again, too, should have had the right eyes on him,
Yeah,
But his knowledge and Powell has used a couple, of Vic's trainees at our shows. Very humble, very respectful,
absolutely. Yeah,
knows what they're doing, so they're getting trained right. So,
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
know, uh, Vic Capri is definitely a trainer to consider or look at if you're getting into the business for sure.
Agreed.
Um, yeah. And I've got a tag team gauntlet match. It's going to start off with the Ace of Spades, Scott Spade, and his tag team partner, Logan Steele. You know, Scott Spade, Logan Steele, always
Yes.
been around the
Yeah.
area. Marco versus Marco Cordova and Koa Laxamana. All
Oh,
right.
Cola.
Right. I mean, Koa is a great guy. I've only had a chance to work with him a handful of times. Very nice guy. Marco Cordova, one of the vets here in the Milwaukee and Chicago area, so Marco Cordova, uh, it's always nice to talk to him. Uh, Doug Simmons and Ryan Cross. That's a team right there of nothing but pure experience,
That's cool.
And last but not least, Hardcore Impact, Hardcore Craig and Paulie Tomaselli.
Wow.
That's right. So
That's wow.
it's a gauntlet match, and the first two teams that are going to start will be Scott Spade, Logan Steele, Marco, and Koa.
Wow.
They'll start it
That's a
off,
match
and
that's capable of main eventing anywhere. Seriously.
yeah, I, I
Wow.
I think it's going to be good, and I'm looking forward, to see how this one turns out. I'm definitely, like I said, looking forward to the to that 8 man. That's nothing but old school Chicago, you know, stuff right there.
It's like a
Um,
throwback.
Now, this one here is going to be very special. Silas Young versus Jason Dukes.
Wow. Another one.
These guys go back way back, and all the time used to wrestle for Carmine, up in Wisconsin. And like I said, these two have never had a bad match, never. So Silas, I'm very thankful, that he's given his time and with his traveling schedule and so forth. So I'm very thankful for that. Dukes, someone that I've known ever since I've been in, So uh, another great talent that should have been looked at. I mean, especially when Dukes was kind of doing the, the Buddy Rose gimmick there for a little bit, the long blonde hair
Yep.
and the robe and stuff like that. Uh, just a wealth of knowledge, Jason Dukes. I mean, my goodness, it's a who's who on here. And last but not least, I say before the main event, we will have a battle royal. All right, so that's going to be interesting. And there are some people that are not mentioned in a match, but will be in the battle royal. So there will be surprises in that
Oh,
also. So that's I'm I'm letting certain people have creative control with that, so I could just imagine how that's going to turn out.
battle royals are always fun, and then yeah, add that into
Yeah,
it.
yes. And our main event, um, and I will say a shout out to Tyler Volts of AAW that it was him that connected the bridge with Mustafa and myself. So a big shout out to him. And because I knew Mustafa travels a lot and so forth, and I mean, I tried to keep up with him on a couple of his social media accounts, but Mustafa agreed to do the show, and which is great. And he's going to actually face uh, Pal's champion Mason Perks,
Wow.
and
For the title?
Perks. I'm sorry,
Is the title on the line?
no, unfortunately not. But I think that this is another great opportunity, for Mason. I feel very confident in Mason and Ali.
Oh yeah,
Mason
that's
is
gonna
a
yeah.
very bright kid that is humble. He knows what he's doing. He listens to any critiques. He's always watching stuff, and because he's been here to my place a few times. I know I got the background up, but I've got more footage that I'll probably ever watch in my lifetime in regards of just territory stuff, Japan, Mexico, you name it, I got it. But that's the main event. And again, we'll have also several raffles, with drop a ticket in, whatever you want to, try to get. I would like to thank Ryan Cross. He has donated a few sets of tickets to his show that he's having in September, I believe it is. So I'm thankful for that. So there'll be drawings for that. There'll
That
be drawings for some.
suplex the stigma up in Wisconsin.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's it. So I'm thankful for that. And Ryan Cross was also a big part in helping me, get the right talent.
Hmm.
And again, now see, this snowballed because when I first started with this, I was only talking to Jimmy Blaze, Tony Rican, because I wanted some help on this. And Jimmy pointed me in a certain direction. Tony is like, well, yeah, he talked to this, talked to them, and so forth. And to Vic, I got to talking to Vic Capri. Vic told me about Ryan and Jordan. I had no clue that they were that close. I didn't. So many guys that are on the show. Uh, I am truly thankful for their guidance in regards of who to talk to, who to reach out to, and so forth. And I know everybody on this card might not have uh, worked with Eric or like on a close friendship basis, but they might have shared a locker room with, or just knew who he was
Right.
as a member of the wrestling community. So, uh, so like I says, it's very special, and this is one of these ones that I know I'm going to probably be a mental mess that day, but you know,
Well, to help you receive, I mean, really, that speaks of the respect that you have in the industry, and it speaks of the respect that Eric had. Whether people have wrestled or worked with either one of you, it shows that the wrestling community is tight, and
yeah.
people could have their squabbles here or there, but when it comes down to it, for stuff like this, people do come together, like you're doing now, and you're pulling a great event together for a fantastic cause.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Rican's been a big help. He actually helped me with design the gauntlet match and how to get that, and a couple other little tweaks in here and there. So Tony Rican's been a big help. A lot of people pulled in, so and it made my job a little bit easier, but it showed me like how you just said how tight we are and so forth. And a few people that I reached out to, they never got back to me, or they're too far out of state. I would have loved to have them on show, and I even told them, I said, you want to sneak up here for the day or whatever? I mean, come on up, but there's other people like Joey Eastman. He's way out on the East Coast. Eric Priest played a real big part for Joey Eastman. And because back in the day, uh, Joey did a lot of ring announcing and his own reputation and just him and Eric were close also. He's on the East Coast. I would have loved to have Joey out here. Carmine, he's out west. So is Skull Crusher, Rashi Brown. Um, what was that? Jason Jason Rain. I didn't know until it was kind of too late that he was close to Eric. So I'm hoping that he'll come out to the show. So there
Well,
are people that I
like you said though, the battle royal, there might be some surprises there.
yeah. But I says I says I'm glad that I got the people that I did. And like it says, for guys for like Chandler and Bryce, even like Mike Flannery, to actually put the boots on one more time after
Yeah.
they are done with the business. All got family lives and stuff like that, and so that means a lot. They're like Tony Rican. We joke back and forth. He goes, we all got to be careful here. We're all at that at that age, and I'm like, I've already been there. I'm past that. Yeah. So and all that. But no, it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the raffles are going to include wrestling memorabilia with stuff that are signed and things like that. And hopefully in the next before show start, I can get a few more, donations for the raffles and all that, and go out there and have one kick-ass show and show you know show the people out there, how we are on the wrestling community. We take care of
Well,
each other.
tell everybody where they can find out information, where they can get tickets, all the good stuff.
All right. If you go to A Day for Priest on Facebook, uh, scan the QR code. All the ticket information is there. Front row is sold out. Um, General admissions are going, and just through the rumble of the independent scene and shows that I've gone to, a lot of people are coming, and I get it. Yeah, we'll be there, and I know Ticket Leap has fees and all that, but if we go to an NWA show or an Ego show and we buy tickets,
Everything's
that's what
got
we do.
fees.
Yeah, right. Everything's
Right.
got fees, and but like I says, I've got, the Rumble is, I think we're gonna have a great walk up. And I tell you what, no matter how many people are there, these guys are gonna put their heart out, and we're gonna be there for Max, and we're gonna show Max how much everybody cared for his dad, and whatever we could raise for Max, you know, and that's the goal is to, help Max out.
Well, it's a fantastic goal. It's a fantastic event. A day for Priest. Nick, thank you very much for your time. Let's do this. Let's a couple days, few days before the show, let's do a real quick update, a real quick reminder for people. I'll get this one up
Absolutely.
soon, and we'll get that one. We'll do an update later.
Absolutely, sir. I appreciate it. And again, I hope I see you there. If not, I'm sure I'll catch you at the show somewhere.
You'll see me around, my friend. Thank you for
All
your time.
right, buddy. I
Appreciate it.
appreciate it.